What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. So just yesterday, Lilia, the newest champion in League of Legends, actually dropped onto the PvE. Super exciting, super awesome. It's always great to have new content added to the game. In this video today, it's probably going to be a little bit of a longer one because I'm going to be trying to go through all the stuff you need to know about Lilia before you go into the PvE and try her out, before you play her, or in a couple of weeks from now, once you hit the live servers, just so you're ready to go, ready to start climbing, gaining LP right away. So you don't have to just kind of have as many like growing pains and as much of a steep learning curve right at the beginning. So I like to do this whenever a new champion or rework or anything comes out. Before we get into this video, I just want to mention real quick, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. Helps you guys stay up to date on the latest content. Helps me out a ton as well. Also, check out the link for Robin in the description below if you want to receive a free stock just for signing up. With that being said, here we go. Getting into today's video again, which is just Lilia, everything you need to know. So first up, we're going to run through her abilities. I like to just read their abilities and everything because I think with a new champion, a lot of people aren't going to know their abilities. We need to know at least what we're working with before we get started with everything. So first up, her passive, Dream Laden Bow, or Bow, I'm not really sure how you say that word. Lilia's skills apply Dream Dust, dealing 5% max health magic damage over 3 seconds. Her Q is Blooming Blows. The passive on this Q ability is that Lilia's skill hits grant move speed for 5 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. She can actually get so fast. That's one of the main points of this champion, is just how fast she is. It's really crazy. They said she's not quite as fast as like Rammus or something, but she's one of the faster champions in the game for sure. And then the active, Lilia whirls her sensor, dealing magic damage plus true damage at the outer edge. So we can take a look what the Q looks like. We have the inner edge and then we have the outer edge of it, which is going to deal the true damage. So yeah, pretty cool. And then we can see like the different movement speed and stuff we get as well, where we just start to ramp up and just get really fast. Because then again, you can see the stacks that we have here, how it starts stacking up, and it can stack up to 5 times. So as long as you keep hitting people, you keep doing stuff, as long as you keep laning your Q and everything, you're just going to get faster and faster. And yeah, so you're just going to get a ton of stacks, and it's going to be really crazy. Then we have Lilia's W, which is Watch Out, Eep. The names of these abilities are so ridiculous. Lilia winds up a huge strike, dealing 75, just dealing magic damage, and then enemies in the center take extra damage instead. So here's what that W looks like. We can see the range and everything. It's not pretty short range, honestly. And then she runs up and does it. I need to auto refresh the cooldowns real quick, so we can start actually using this stuff. And then obviously in that small little center, it's going to do that additional damage. But yeah, she actually does have to like run up and use it. She charges it up a little bit. Then her E, which is called Swirl Seed. Lilia lobs a Swirl Seed overhead, dealing magic damage where it lands and revealing and slowing them by 25% for 3 seconds. If no enemies are hit, the seed rolls until it hits an enemy or collides with terrain, which is pretty crazy. So we'll see what that looks like. Cast out the E, and it's going to land like that. And then here is what the E looks like if you just roll it down the lane. It'll just keep, it's not going very fast, but it will just keep rolling forever. Like, it wouldn't be too hard to like dodge, especially out of the way or something. Then it hits that wall, and that's when it stops. So that's a pretty interesting ability. Kind of not really anything we've seen like that in the game before. Obviously, it's kind of like Zoe's bubble in a way, just with different conditions, but it's even a little bit different than that. So finally we have her ultimate ability. Lilia causes all enemies with Dream Dust to become drowsy for 1.5 seconds. Afterward, they fall asleep for 2 seconds. When awakened by damage, they take an additional chunk of magic damage. So we can see what that looks like. Got to apply some Dream Dust first, and then we press Alt, and they become drowsy, and then they take additional damage when they wake up, just like Zoe's Sleeping Trouble Bubble. This ability is pretty crazy. Is it global? That's what I didn't really understand. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you can do it from anywhere. I mean, not global, because obviously you you have to like land an ability on them first. So I mean, I guess it is kind of global, because you could E from like super far away. Like, you could be coming in, you could E onto them, it can hit them, and then you can just proc your ultimate and have them drowsy. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy that this ability doesn't have like a any kind of range or anything, but that's cool as long as you get the Dream Dust onto them, which I believe any of your abilities should apply. Yeah, then you're able to just put people to sleep just like Zoe. So Sleep's an interesting mechanic. We don't have much of it in the game. Should be kind of cool. As far as like rune pages and everything to go on Lilia, she is a ranged champion. That's something else I want to talk about. Her ranged autos. This is her auto attack range. She's not melee. She does have these ranged autos. They said her auto attack range is comparable to Urgot and Rakan. So she is ranged, but not really. Like, you have to get really, really close. So that means that Conquer isn't going to be very good on her. I thought Conquer might be good because she's kind of getting in people's faces. She has this Q that's like decently short range. You can stack it up well. It's a low cooldown ability. But yeah, since she is ranged, Conquer's not going to be very good on her. So that's why a lot of people are taking Dark Harvest. I think this rune page is really good. Dark Harvest with Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, Ravenous Hunter, Nimbus Cloak, and Celerity. She's all about movement speed, so Nimbus Cloak and Celerity are going to be really, really good on her. Dark Harvest, she's going to be able to get a lot of stacks, apply some extra poke, be really, really annoying in that way. I've heard that Phase Rush can be decent on her too. I could see how that could be good. But I think Dark Harvest is going to be the page that most people are running, especially like on release. I think it's going to be your best bet. You also can run like Cosmic Insight and Magical Footwear secondary as well, because that is a good page because she is kind of a power farming jungler in a way. She isn't very good pre-6, but post-6 she's obviously very, very strong. So you are going to be farming up. So I think by taking magical boots, you'd definitely be fine. You'd get free 300 gold. You are looking to scale in the early game, so you don't really need your boots early on. So yeah, that's another option for your page as well. But I think this one's a little bit better, but I think you'd be fine with the Cosmic Insight and Magical Footwear. As far as your skill order, her Q is going to be very, very good. You're going to be maxing Q for sure. It's a low cooldown ability. It's going to give you a ton of options. And then you're going to be putting points in a W second, then E third, and obviously putting a point in alt when you can. As far as the build, this is something a lot of people have talked about already. I'm going to get just like the most cookie cutter build here. She wants to be AP, obviously. Where is the gold? How do I? Okay, there we go. Add gold. We're going to be going for Blue Smite Runic Echoes into Leandries, into Zanya's, and then Deadman's Plate, and then Spirit Visage. Oh, we ran out of gold. We gotta add a little bit more. I thought I gave you like way too much. Then a Spirit Visage, and then obviously we're going Merc Treads for our boots. We'd probably get those right after the Runic Echoes, depending on if you have magical footwear or whatever. But this is gonna be what her final build looks like. Depending on how fed you are, or if you want to go more AP or whatever, you could go like a Rallies, because obviously Rallies Leandries are gonna be really, really good together. But she wants AP early with the Runic Echoes and the Leandries, and then you can start to do a ton of damage. You can actually do some really big damage combos, especially with like your sleep, adding additional damage, and yeah, you're going to be really, really strong. But then as she scales into the game, she is not very defensive, and she is pretty short range. So that's why you want these defensive items later on. Zanya's, Deadman's Plate, Spirit Visage, you're going to be so, so good. Just so you don't get one shot. You just don't want to explode. If you just go full AP, you're just going to be a sitting duck because you have to get way too close to people. But with a couple defensive items and a Deadman's Plate, especially with your passive that already makes you super, super fast, having a Deadman's Plate on top of that, you're going to be absolutely disgusting. It's going to be so, so nice. And then, yeah, they amplify damage from your sleep and everything. You're going to do a ton of damage. You're going to be super fast. You're going to be pretty defensive. Zanya's is going to keep you safe. This is just going to be a really, really good build. Should be good in most scenarios, most instances, everything like that. As far as her clear, she does have a very, very good, very nice, healthy clear. You can start Q, you can go red to Krugs to Raptors, up to blue buff, and then do Gromp and Wolves. You can do that very, very fast. I think I saw like a 317 clear. You can do it leashless in 317, so with a good leash, you're going to be good to go. She has no problems clearing. She is definitely going to be a jungler on release. Riot's already said, you know, they think she is best in jungle from all their playtesting stuff. They're going to be balancing her as a jungler. She is okay in top lane, I've heard. People think she can be all right. But again, since she's not very good with Conqueror, it's kind of weird. You do need Dark Harvest kind of to be able to like get stacks and stuff. I haven't really heard anything good about her mid lane or in any other lane. Some people want her to be a support. I don't really think she's going to be a good support. She does have like an E that slows, but like it's not very reliable, especially in lane. Once you hit 6, you could be very good, but man, pre-6 you'd be so useless as a support. But yeah, I think that's like most of the things I wanted to run through in this video. She doesn't have any like crazy combos or anything, you know, like she's not the super mechanical high skill cap champion, anything like that. All of her abilities are pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There is going to be some cool stuff you can do with the E. There's going to be some cool stuff you can do with the alt. You're going to be looking for creative ways to yeah, hit people with your E from far away. I can see, you know, lane ganks being very good on her, setting up creative pathways for your E to not hit terrain and stuff, finding ways to get Dark Harvest stacks. But yeah, Riot said they don't want her to be this crazy like meta-defining champion or anything. They want her to be this more niche kind of. They think she's kind of going to be a low pick rate champion, which should be interesting. I think it's kind of weird for developers to say, but yeah, she's not very complicated. She's not very difficult. She's not very hard, but she is going to be hard to master because she is so short range. Her abilities are so kind of nuanced and stuff. There's a lot going on. But yeah, she looks pretty cool. She looks pretty interesting. I'm really excited to get to try her out and play her and see just how good she is, see how she gets buffed and nerfed over time, to see just how balanced she becomes, and if she's fun. She looks pretty interesting. She adds some new stuff to the game, and yeah, it's something we kind of haven't seen before. In a lot of her abilities without being too crazy, without being too overloaded. I definitely don't think her kit's overloaded, but I think she has a spot on this roster and is going to be pretty interesting, pretty good. I think that's awesome. I think Riot did a good job with this, with all the teasers and everything. Next up is figuring out how to unlock Lilia's Haiku. As soon as we find that out, I'll definitely have that video coming out to you guys. But yeah, definitely pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below. What do you think about Lilia? If you try her out, let me know how it goes. Subscribe, sub down my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace.